Hello everybody and welcome back to Gaming on Caffeine. My name is Isaac and we are back playing some Feed the Beast Horizons Daybreaker for episode 12, and I would like to start with some absolutely fantastic news regarding our resident-wide mining laser, and that is that it still works. So, in the comment section of the last episode, a bunch of people pointed out that the laser was not in fact debuffed in the patch. For some reason, it was just kind of turned off by default, which is a little weird, but basically, all you have to do now to turn it back on is go Options, Controls, scroll down to Gecko's Lasers, which is this one here. By default, these are bound to some different keys, which you will need to rebind because they're also bound to other things elsewhere in the controls, but I've gone ahead and rebound these to grave and left bracket just because they were two free keys on the keyboard. And if we go ahead and click those, you can see that we can now cycle through different depths of laser all the way up to 8, and we can also cycle through the diameter all the way up to 9. And if we were to head back down into our little mine now with this guy and do something like this, boom, look at that. The good old mining laser, ridiculously overpowered still, because it still has a whopping 1,140 uses left in it on 500,000 redstone flux, which is kind of insane. But it makes me happy because it is absolutely fantastic. Now, what I want to start with today is something that is going to make this setup even more powerful. Because, of course, we still do have the portable black hole. I don't have it on me just yet, but we do have the portable black hole. And we have the option to get rid of all the cobblestone in our inventory. But also, there is one more item we can make that's going to make the setup so much better. And that item is the magnet from the quantum flux mod. And it helps you can spell magnet. There we go. Now, this guy over here is somewhat easy to make. It's made with a lapis, a redstone, 2 amplification crystals, which are 2 nether quartz, 1 diamond, which we now have a ton of, by the way. I did a bunch of mining since the end of last episode, as well as 3 dark stone, which is just normal stone, and some ink, as well as this guy down here, the mangalloy, and this guy is made using a bunch of steel and some manganese, which is made using iron, redstone, and golden nuggets. So, let's go ahead. I'm just going to dump a lot of this stuff away. I want to keep the nether quartz, the golden nuggets, and the redstone, because we're going to use those in just a second. Let's get rid of all of this. I should probably get rid of that cobblestone, but that's fine. Let's grab some of this smooth stone. I've been cooking over there. Let's grab some iron. You can see we have quite a lot of ingots now. We also have a nice little backlog over here because I turned down the timer because this thing was pretty slow, but apparently I turned it down too much. So let's try this. Oh, geez. Oh God. The lag, the frame rate. Oh, okay. Wow, look at this. Oh, I love it. I love it. Look at this. Got so much stuff. I'm gonna leave that like that for now. the frame has, I've just gone from like 130 frames per second down to like 30, but hey, that's fine. I also made some more tanks. We'll get to that in a second. We'll talk about the blast furnace and the coal coke oven that we made last episode in just a second. But for now, let's make some of you. Let's actually go ahead and make some steel the good old-fashioned way using quantum flux. That gets us 1. We need a little bit more coal. Also, it does turn out that you can use this steel within the Immersive engineering mod, so we don't have to. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to turn that thing down because that frame rate is absolutely horrible. It turns out you don't have to use the steel from Immersive engineering for the recipes for Immersive engineering. You can actually go ahead and use the steel from quantum flux if you want, which we might end up doing if we use a lot of steel. But we do also need the coal coke created. Oh my goodness, look at this. We do also need the coal coke created by the coal coke oven to get most of our stuff. So we are gonna have to do the little setup that we used there, that we made last episode. Every now and again, just to get the what's it called now? It is called. Also, this would be a good time to talk about this. The creosote oil. But again, I'll come back to this. One thing at a time, Isaac. We do need the creosote oil to make most of the wood for immersive engineering. So the setup isn't a complete waste. Anyway, let's go ahead and do something like this. We'll throw you in the middle, you in the middle. Boom, 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 and boom. Take 16 steel. Do something like this. Get ourselves this mangalloy, and then combine that up with 2 of these, which is made using some of those. And we do need some ink, which I think we should have. We got 2 ink sacks there. We do want to have at least 3, so that we can always go ahead and get 1 more using our condenser. I did leave the server on for a flipping heck of a long time since the end of last episode, so we do have a bunch of stuff here. Did we research ink? Oh, we didn't. Okay. Let's go ahead and quickly research some ink. That does mean that I'm going to have to go ahead and go away and come back because I have to log off and log back on every time that I research something because the game's a little bit broken right now. So before we do that, I will talk about what I've done downstairs here. Last episode, we made the coal cook oven and the blast furnace. Since the end of last episode, I have left this running for a really, really long time. It turns out that the coal cook oven doesn't keep working if this tank is full, so you have to make sure you empty this tank out. So what I went ahead and did is I made a fluid transfer node from Extra Utilities, pumped it all into some of these tanks from open blocks. You can see each one of these tanks holds 16 buckets worth of creosote oil. These things are super easy to make. They are just glass and some obsidian. You saw the recipe earlier in the project bench upstairs, and the rest is just the same. All of the coal coke, when it's done, is pumped through and over to here, and then once it's in here, I had 21 blocks of iron smelt down into 21 blocks of steel, which we can now take and use however we like. And you can see we still have some excess blocks of coal coke as well, which is pretty nice. Now I'm actually fairly certain that we have some more tanks over here. Yeah, we've got 4 extra. And the cool thing about the tanks from open blocks is that they actually form a multi-block. Like you can see, this is one big tank, so you can kind of just add more, and it will just make a bigger tank like that. And you can see this is now going to start pumping stuff out, or it should at least anyway. There we go. Yeah, it's pumping stuff out. It'll start pumping it into there, and then this thing should keep going again once it's ready. Now, is the research book done? The answer is probably. But whether or not it'll work is just probably not. So, if we look in the book right now, it will most likely say that ink sacks have an exchange energy of 0, which is not true. So, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to go away. I'm going to just relaunch the server, and I'll be back in a second. And a little while later, we have a bunch of ink sacks. Cool. Let's take both of those and do something like this. And we're one shy of being able to do that twice. That's really annoying. Oh, do we need different types of stone here? We need, let's see. We need 2 cobblestone. Wow. Okay, that's easy enough. Let's do this, and then cobblestone, 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 cobblestone. That gets us a bunch of dark stone. We'll take all of that. I think 8 actually should be more than enough. And then if we do something like this, boom. And if we have diamonds to do it with, we should be good to go. So we'll take 2 of you. Flipping 32 diamonds in there. I'm fairly certain we have more diamonds in other chests as well. Let's go ahead and make 2 of these amplification crystals, which we can do if we click it right. There we go. We'll take 2 of those. And then if we put you there, you there, you there, you 3 along the nowhere, you there, and then grab ourselves 1 piece of lapis, which we now have a ton of, by the way, which is kind of crazy because lapis is worth loads. Plop that in there. We now have a magnet. And now, if we were to go ahead and just simply right-click, or shift-right-click, that turns the magnet on. And now if we were to go mining, which I will be doing again between episodes, this thing will just pull every single item towards us. So, let's have a look here. Oh, let's go, actually, real quick, let me go grab the portable black hole so we actually get rid of all the cobblestone. And we can kind of show off this full setup at its maximum. And then we'll get into some more immersive engineering stuff, guys. Don't worry, we are going to move on from the mining setup at some point in this episode. I do have some plans to delve a little bit deeper into immersive engineering. Let's take that, and let's see what we can do here. So what should happen now is we should simply be able to just right-click this laser. All the items will fall and instantly get pulled towards us and into our inventory, which is absolutely flipping crazy. So if we do this, boom, and we kind of just walk towards it. Look at this. We can just walk forwards, get all of our stuff, and it just pulls it in. All the cobblestone is instantly deleted as soon as it gets towards us. If we get a full inventory at any point, we can just go ahead and dump all the stuff out. It's taking a little while for the portable black hole there to recognize the cobblestone, and as soon as it does recognize the cobblestone, we pick up even more cobblestone. But once it's all gone, which it will be in a second, we can just go ahead and spacebar left click, dump everything in there, and just keep going. We can just keep going. For some reason, it doesn't work with the essential craft stuff. I'm not quite sure why it doesn't work with those ores. It's a little bit annoying because it means we can't mine any of those. We have to mine them by hand, which is a bit of a pain. But this setup is absolutely flipping ridiculously A, overpowered, but C, fantastically awesome. I love it to pieces, and this thing is great. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to teleport back to the house here so we don't have to walk all the way up the stairs. And now, I would like to start working on some more immersive engineering. So, we have the steel. What I would like to start working on now is producing what is known as biodiesel. So, what I've gone ahead and done between episodes is made the Engineer's Manual. That's this guy over here. It's basically the book that tells you everything about immersive engineering. Really easy to make. It is a lever and a book. And if we look in here, you'll see there is a section, if we go all the way back, called biodiesel. And biodiesel is a fuel that you can use to power a bunch of stuff within the mod. And if we look into biodiesel here, it is made by combining two things together. We need a squeezer, a fermenter, and then also, if we go right to the end here, we also need this guy here, which is called the plant? The refining plant. Okay, so yeah, right. So we need to make ourselves 3 machines, and all 3 of them are multi-blocks. We need a squeezer, we need a fermenter, and we need the refinery. And to make all those, we need a ton of these blocks. So we'll start with the first one over here. We'll start with what I think is a squeezer. It is. And to make this, we need a bunch of these light engineering blocks. Specifically, we need, what, 19? Yeah, 9 along the bottom, 9 on the top, and 1 in the middle. And then we need a ring of 8 industrial squeezers, which I believe need some cactus green. So we are going to have to go out our way and try and find some cactus at some point during this episode. But for now, let's grab a bunch of copper and a bunch of iron, because in order to make those light engineering blocks, we need to do something like this. We put the copper in the middle, we put iron in the corners, kind of like the recipe for steel, and that gets us these iron mechanical components. And then if we go ahead and type in immersive engineering, or just immersive, and look at this guy over here, the light engineering block, we need a bunch of copper, a bit of iron, and some iron mechanical components. Now, I'm pretty sure we should have actually quite a lot of copper, and we do, to an extent, we got a little bit. I think I've been mining a little bit too low down for the copper. Most of the copper is found above level like 40, so when I've been mining down at like Y level 12, we haven't been finding that much copper. Let's send all the copper through first there to make sure it gets pulverized and smelted up, because we are going to need quite a bit of it today. And then if we do something like, actually we should just be able to kind of shift click that in, and oh, there. Okay, so one thing that wasn't fixed in the latest update of the pack is the bug that when you try and shift click something into the project table, the game just completely cries and crashes. So don't try that, guys, it just breaks. Instead, you should probably go ahead and do something like this to get yourself an absolute ton of this engineering block. Now, I don't think we're actually going to have enough copper here to make this work. And also, we need a bunch more of these in order to make that work. In fact, I think we're going to need like pretty much all of them here to get this up and running. So let's do a quick check over here. We should have enough iron. Iron is coming through in spades right now. We have an absolute ton of iron, which is great. Unfortunately, copper is not really the same story. The amount of copper that we have is not very high, unfortunately. We've got quite a bit more coming through there. That's like 80 right there. So I don't think copper has any EMC. It doesn't, which is a bit of a pain. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to go away. I'm going to find some cactus, because if we look at the recipe for the industrial squeezer, it does require a piece of cactus green as well as some more of this mechanical component. So I'm going to go away. I'm going to try and find a cactus. I'm going to do some more mining higher up to try and get a bunch more copper, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so a pretty long time later, we now have some cactus, which is good. I've gone ahead and taught the alchemical term both cactus and cactus green, so we should now be able to just go ahead and get ourselves some more cactus green fairly quickly without having to smelt up all of the cactus, which is very nice indeed. We also have a bunch more copper, which is also very nice indeed. 10 should be more than enough, considering we only need 8 for the squeezer. And without further ado, let's see if we have what it takes to make all of this stuff. So we currently have a few of those, and it looks like I have, on my mining trip, gone ahead and dumped all of those engineering blocks somewhere inside one of these chests. There they are, 4 of those. All right, so we need, what, 19 per machine, and we need 2 machines, so we need, like, 38 in total? So, quite a few. Each little recipe here makes 2, which means we need 1 of those for each of those. We need, like, 36 of these? Oh, that's a lot of those. That's an awful lot of those. Thankfully, we have an absolute ton of iron and quite a bit of copper now, which is quite nice. So let's take, like, all of our iron and throw quite a bit of copper at this and see if we have what it takes. So 36 is a little bit more than 32, for those of you who didn't know. Boom, boom, and boom. And then, let's see, let's just throw all those in there. Let's take flipping 36 of these. So we've got 35 and 36. And then we need to go ahead and do something like this. Now, I'm surprised that shift click worked. I shouldn't really have done it. let's see if we have what it takes here. So if I put all those in there, and I just take all of them. Okay, so the game did crash again. It's really hard to get out of the habit of shift-clicking all of your recipes, even in the project table. But we now do have 44 light engineering blocks, and the next thing we need to do is make a bunch of these industrial squeezers. So we need a bunch more iron and some pistons. So let's grab ourselves some wood here. I did go ahead and chop down a bunch of trees using my mining laser, because apparently this thing can just tear through anything. We should be careful with it inside of the house. It could probably break through some of these walls fairly easily. But once we've got some of those, we just need some iron. Let's grab some more just in case we don't have enough in our project table. And we should be pretty much good to go. So let's do, I'm going to put them in. I'm not going to shift click in because we're not doing that anymore. We're doing this. We're doing wood. We're doing, I think this is right. We're doing wood. We're doing, oh, the black hole gets rid of all the cobblestone. I keep grabbing it from this chest. I'm like, why? Where's it going? And the black hole keeps destroying it. That's the downside to carrying that thing with you. I wish there was like an on-off mode on it, so you can like kind of turn it off if you didn't need it. But let's do that. And then redstone and iron. Wrong way around as always. There we go. We'll take all of those. And then we will go ahead, put those like here and here. This is only going to be enough to make the first 8. We also apparently need some more of these, so let's do that again as well. Let's grab some more copper. Thank you. We are running low again, but it looks like a lot of it's being transferred over to the chest, which is good. You can go in the middle. We only need a few of these this time around, so I'll put you there, there, and there. I'm going to take all of these, just because I know we're going to need some more of these for the fermenter. I keep wanting to call it a fertilizer, but it's not. It's a fermenter. I know we're going to need a bunch for those as well. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the recipe looks something like this, with a piston on the top and the bottom, and then cactus green in the middle. It is. Let's take as many of those as we can make. And apparently we are out of iron, so let's go and grab a little bit more of that. I find that hard to believe. We were on a ton of iron a second ago, but that's fine. We still do have quite a nice amount of iron. Let's throw you back in like that, and then we'll go ahead and take up to 8 of those. And now we should be good to go. So the plan for this is, first of all, to go and get our ore drill from Redstonic, so we can go ahead and make a nice little 3x3 hole for this thing. You are there. Thank you very much. And I think that this wall on the left here is the perfect size for all 3 of these machines. So the first one is going to go here, like this. We're going to go ahead, we're going to put down all of the blocks for the squeezer right here. So boom, boom, boom. All of the light machine blocks, or the light engineering blocks, like this. And then these are going to go in like a little ring around, like so, with one of these in the middle. Boom, boom, boom. And then if we right-click with the hammer, ta-da! It turns into an industrial squeezer. Nice. So we now have an industrial squeezer, which is part 1 of our process. The next step is this guy over here, the fermenter. So let's go ahead and dig another little bit here. And I guess we're going to have to do this by hand, apparently with a pickaxe as opposed to a shovel, which is going to drive some people crazy. People get surprisingly annoyed when I use a pickaxe instead of using a shovel. But anyway, let's go ahead and put all these down, like so. And then let's go make ourselves a fertilizer. So I think the fertilizer is a little bit easier to make. We don't need anything like cactus green to make this. Instead, we just need lapis, which we actually have an absolute ton of. So let's go ahead and grab like a stack of that. Let's see if we have what it takes to make 8 of those. I think we shouldn't, because we're missing some pistons, but that's fine. Oh no, we do. We have just the right amount. Wow, okay, that's perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and throw these around this guy, and that should get us the fermenter. Exact same process. Little ring around that center block, like so. We made a few extra light engineering blocks, but I'm fairly certain that the middle guy here, the guy that makes everything, is we're going to need some as well. So let's go ahead and look in our engineer's manual here. And let's go, I think it's tools and machinery, or is it overview? Yeah, diesel, across, we need that guy, and then we need this guy, which is, I have no idea, refining plant, the plant of refinery? I don't know. But for this, we need 8 steel scaffolding, 6 light engineering blocks, and 27, oh my god, look at that, we had 6 light engineering blocks, exactly, that's cool. 8 steel scaffolding, and 27 heavy engineering blocks. So, for steel scaffolding, we of course need a bunch of steel. This is where all the steel comes in. To make 6, we needed, what, 7? Because it's just silly. We needed 8, so we need to make 2 lots of this. Steel fences are made just out of a bunch of steel, so that shouldn't be actually too hard, because we did make quite a lot of steel blocks. And again, I think I kind of put them through the system, so they'll probably be in this chest, and they are. Let's take those. And again, we could use normal steel for this recipe, but because we've made this immersive engineering steel, we might as well use it. Let's take just a bunch of that. and then go ahead and get ourselves a 16 steel fences. Wow. And then do something like this and get ourselves 12 scaffolding, which is more than enough. Then we're going to need 28 heavy engineering blocks, which are these guys over here, which are made using pistons, more the steel mechanical components, which are exactly the same but with steel instead of copper, as well as more pistons, some electrum, and some actual steel ingots. So as you can see, a lot of steel. How much copper do we have right now? Probably not low. Ooh, we've got a bit. We've got a bit, which is good. So let's see here. We need 27 of these, which means basically we need to make 28. We need to make 14 lots of these. We need 28 of these. Do we have what it takes to make 28 of those steel things? We should, I think. Let's turn all of our steel blocks into steel ingots. Like that. We'll just turn them all in. That got us a lot of steel. And then if we do this, and then we are going to need some more. So let's do this. We need 28, so come on now. Work with me, game. That's 37. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. And then copper in the middle. If we pull these out one by one so we don't crash the flipping game, we need 28 of these. Which we have more than enough for, which is good. Now, the good news is that we don't, I think, need any more copper for the rest of this. Yeah, we just need pistons, and we need more steel, and also some electrum. Electrum's fairly easy to get. That's good. We should be able to make a ton more pistons really easily because we've got a lot of wood, and we've got a lot of cobblestone, and we've got a lot of iron. So iron, redstone. Let's grab some more cobblestone real quick. And then also, we are going to have to get some gold. Gold's a bit of a pain because we have to kind of turn it into gold dust, and then gold and silver dust, and then combine them into electrum dust, and then smelt them. So, like I said, a little bit of a pain. I always get those the wrong way around, and also I do that the wrong way around quite frequently. You can see how long it's been since I've actually made a piston without using any eye to put the recipe in for me. Now, I think we might need 28 of those as well. Yeah, we're going to need 2 for each one. So let's see. That's not going to quite be enough, but we are close. Let's put some more wood in across there. That should be more than enough. We have more than enough iron and redstone. Let's get some more cobblestone and get 28 of these up and running. Boom. And I want to be able to just do that. Oh, it worked nice. Okay, I'm scared whenever I use my little NEI shortcuts now because I'm scared it's just going to crash, which is terrible because it usually cuts off my recording. Anyway, we now need some electrum, which, as I said, is a bit of a pain to make. So let's turn off the auto-eject. And let's see, do we have any gold and do we have any silver? No, it's the answer. We have none of either. So instead, we're going to turn that back on. And we're going to use the crusher, so we'll turn auto-eject back on. That should keep working. And instead, we're going to use the crusher to make all of this stuff. And we need 28? Yeah, we need 1 for each of these. Oh, no, we only need 14. We need 14 electrum. So let's take, like, we'll make 16 just because it's a nice, easy number. We'll take 16 of both of those. I'm going to go away, guys. I'm going to crush these up because this crusher does take quite a bit of time. So I'm going to go away. I'm going to crush both of these up into 16 gold dust and 16 silver dust. I'm then going to craft them together into a bunch of electrum dust. We're then going to smelt them up into electrum ingots. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so we now have more than enough electrum to go ahead and get ourselves all of the heavy engineering blocks. I also went ahead and laid some more cable. Let me just take some more of that real quick, and I'll show you why I made more of that in just a second. But for now, let's do something like this. And again, being careful not to do any shift clicking, because otherwise the game just cries massively. Boom, and there we go. 22. We needed more than that, so let's take 24. We needed 27, 26. Come on, we can do this. Are we got any more steel? That's not all our steel, is it? Come on now, that cannot be all of our steel. I refuse to believe that is all of our steel. Really? Oh wow, okay, so we need 1 more steel. That's fine, we can make 1 more steel. I'm just surprised that we actually managed to use it all. Alright, let's do this. Boom, 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 boom. Iron in the middle. Not coal, I want iron in the middle. Okay, that should be fine. So we'll put you there. We'll put you there. I think you can mix and match steel like this. It should work just fine. For some reason, some of these are not sticking. There we go. Electrum in the middle, pistons either side. Like so. And then steel, top, bottom, boom. All right, nice. We got 28. Okay. So, we should now have everything we need to lay this down. So, let's have a look at this book. I've cleaned out a bit of space. The power for both this machine, the squeezer, and this machine, the fermenter, does go into the top. So, what I've gone ahead and done is I've run some power lines all the way from outside where the turbine is, also connecting to the solar panel on the roof. And if we just do something like that, that should connect this guy up. This guy's now full of redstone flux, which is good. And then if we just do this, did that connect? It did. And then kind of just run this round in the same way. No power. Filled with power. Nice. And then finally, we need to know how to make this thing. So this thing's a bit more complicated. This guy is a lot of steel scaffolding, Okay, that first floor is actually kind of easy. So we go not back there. I've gone one too far back here. We need to go one here, 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 like here, here, and there. And then we have heavy here and here. And I think it's just like this in the middle. That looks about right for the first floor. It also looks like you can actually use the scaffolding as scaffolding, which is kind of cool. And then the next layer is like pretty much exclusively heavy blocks by the looks of it. Right, yeah, it is. It's just a block missing in the middle and mostly heavy blocks with one at the front. That's not heavy. Come on now. Actually, let's check. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Let's do this. Let's put all of these down. Think it was missing one in the middle there with one of those at the front like that. And then the top kind of has to be like all heavy. Next one up. Yeah, the next one is just kind of heavy here and here and then here and here. And then if we right click with the hammer. No! It didn't work. What did we do wrong there? It might be that it's touching the other machines. I don't think that matters. Although I could be wrong. That top layer is definitely right. The layer below it is definitely right. Heavy engineering blocks, the light engineering block at the front, and the bottom layer is also definitely right. Okay, let me try. Oh, did we build it backwards? You have to right-click on the front. It says here that you have to right-click the refinery with on the front. Did we, like, build it? If I put, like, this here and then do it like that. Hey, that one works. Okay, yeah, so we just built it the wrong way around. That was, alright, so we had to right-click the other side. That's good, though, because we want the front to be on this side. This is now the front, and this is what the refinery looks like. I think it's a pretty cool-looking multi-block. And now we've actually lined this up perfectly. So the output, I can get rid of these now. I don't need these to let me get up to the roof anymore. Get rid of those. So the squeezer and the fermenter all have outputs on all four sides around the block. So they have them on the front, the left, right, and back. And you'll see here that we've lined it up perfectly so that there is an input. The refinery also has inputs on the left there and on the right. I don't know if you can kind of see those blocks like there and there. They're both inputs for the squeezer and the refinery. So this is kind of lined up perfectly. And this wall happened to be like just the right length for this to work. And if we look in here now, you can see it kind of has a slot for both what's going to come out of here and what's going to come out of here. Now, the way this works is we need to put some stuff into both of these to make it work, which I know sounds like the most generic statement in the world, but we're going to take seeds and potatoes, and we're going to turn them into biodiesel. So let's look in the book here. And if we look at the squeezer back here, you can see the squeezer, you can use either melon seeds, pumpkin seeds, normal seeds, or industrial hemp seeds. And excluding the industrial hemp seeds, everything makes 80 millibuckets a tick. So I decided to go ahead and use normal seeds here. I think all we need is power. And yeah, you can see there, it's going to work through the seeds. And once they're done, it's going to turn it into this stuff, which is put in here. And then we have some plant oil. We have 80 millibuckets worth of plant oil. So we can put a bunch of those in there, and that's going to work it through. I wonder if we can do this, and it'll do it any faster. Or does it still only do it one at a time? Oh my gosh, it does it all at once. That's cool. Okay, nice. We got a bunch of plant oil in there. If we do the same over here, but this time with potatoes, because the fermenter uses a different set of items. Again, if we go over, this one can use melon, potato, sugarcane, and apples, all of which do the exact same. We just happen to have the most flipping melons. Let me break this. Can I climb over through the middle here? Oh, I can. Cool. The power for this guy has to go in the back, which is a bit of a pain to get to, but it's fine. It's right there. So let's get some stuff that we can climb on. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that is... Yep, there we go. That's where the power goes. Then we'll just kind of run this along the top, like so. And that guy should now be getting power. It is. And then you see it's got ethanol from this guy. It's got plant oil, and it's turning it into biodiesel. And then again, if we were to go out and get some tanks, you know, we can go ahead and grab some of these empty ones up here. Let's turn on... Where's our item magnet? There it is. There we go. Cool. Let's drop that. Let's get our tank. And now if we were to do something like this, I think this here is the output. We would put something there and there. Is that right? I might have to grab a fluid transfer node here and actually pull it out of the refinery. But I'm not too sure. This is the first time I've played with this. This mod is brand new, by the way. I have not played with this mod before. And also, when I made the fluid transfer nodes for the one downstairs, I went ahead and made a 4-set again, because it's just a case of using an ender pearl instead of a redstone block, which I always think is a good deal. So let's get rid of you. And let's try this again. Does that work? No? Is this the wrong... Oh, is it right in front of here? I bet it's here, you know. I bet it's this guy. Let's break this. And then let's try that. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, we don't need it. I didn't think we'd need a transfer node, but what we can do now is, first of all, let me get rid of some junk that we don't need and throw it into the system here, because, wow, that's just going to back us up massively. Then let's pick all this stuff up. Let's throw our tank down, and voila. There we go. So this tank here will now just fill up with biodiesel when we start to fill these in. Now, the next problem that we run into with this system, because although it's all nice and good and it works, we need to have an unlimited source of potatoes and wheat seeds. Now, unfortunately, we don't have any mods like Mine Factory Reloaded installed on this, and I don't know of any way, although there probably is a way, of farming stuff easily. So what I've decided to go ahead and do is use equivalent exchange, because we in fact have these condensers which work very nicely at producing infinite EMC, and if we combine them right, and you can see we have 55 stone here, I did go ahead and prepare before the episode for making another condenser, because what we can do is we can just feed that some cobblestone, and let's have a look here. Seeds have an EMC of 16, so for every 16 cobblestone we pump into it, which with a well-upgraded transfer node is actually not that much cobblestone, we should be pretty much good to go. So let's go ahead and make ourselves the alchemical chest in one of these guys over here. We don't need any more ash-infused stone. If we do this, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that should go ahead and make us another alchemical chest. We'll also, if we go ahead and type in condenser, we're going to start with the basic one again here, the verdant condenser. We need the gelid star, which means we need the Surrey star, which is an ash-infused stone and a minium dust. We will do that in just a second. Here we go, ash-infused stone, minium dust. That's going to get us a Surrey star. Then all we need to do is get our Surrey star made out here by doing something like making a block of ash-infused stone, sticking down the chest in the middle of it, just like we did last time. And then kind of right-clicking it whilst having 8 minium dust in our hand. Is that right? Let's have a look here. We need the star. We need the gelid star. Oh, not the jelly star, the Surrey star. The gelid star is the one we're making. So if we were to go ahead and right-click like so, boom, we get ourselves another gelid star. Nice. And then if we were to combine this up with, I think, a bunch of verdant dust, yeah, we get ourselves a verdant condenser. Nice. So we'll put you in the top, we'll put you in the bottom. This is going to get a condenser. While that's smelting up over there, we should really make room for another cobblestone generator over here somewhere. So I'm thinking about just kind of putting it in the floor right here. Like if we put kind of like water here, lava here, cobblestone transfer node, we have the condenser, and we just have another transfer node pulling stuff out of the condenser into the fertilizer. I think that should work just fine. Do we have any buckets lying around? I believe we should, but I'm just going to make some more here because we do need 2 buckets. So we'll take 2 of you. Also, let's dump some of this stuff because, wow, we've still got a bunch of stuff that we don't need. Let's go grab, I'm going to just grab the lava and water we have around here for now. What I'll do between episodes is I'll reset this one up over here because I'm not going to completely get rid of this one. But I'll go ahead and get some more lava, some more water, and set up a few more cobblestone generators because when I have one here, I'm also... Yeah, let's just take this for now. I'll set up a few more between episodes, but for now, this should work fine. Also, let's take a pipe just in case. But we're going to have one there, and then we're going to have 2 downstairs. One for the fermenter, and one for the squeezer. You should pretty much be done by now. We are also going to have to make some more alchemical tomes, but again, for now, we can just use the one that we have in between episodes. I'll make 2 more of them. And I believe that the research, I think, transfers between books, although I haven't actually tested that, so don't take my word for it. But let's put you... like that. Let's put lava down on one side, water down on the other. We'll put a transfer node down in the middle, like that. You can go right about there. I think we might have made this one too high up here, because I think if we want to put that there, yeah, that's not going to be able to pull out over to there. So instead, and that's not quite working yet, so instead, let's get rid of that. Let's put it there. That's now filling up with cobblestone nicely. Then we're going to put another transfer node, which we should have up here somewhere, into there. We may have to make a filter to whitelist seeds because we don't want cobblestone being pulled out, although I don't know if it's even going to try pulling cobblestone out because it can't pull cobblestone out because I don't know if the fermenter's going to, or the squeezer's going to accept cobblestone as a valid input, but I'll try that. And then, of course, we're going to need a cover so they don't connect. And we're also going to need to put one more pipe down, so let's quickly grab a cover from this chest. Yes, we'll take you. We will do something like this. And I should probably make a cover that's a bit more in theme with the room. But if I put that there, and then we put you there, and then we put you in there with seeds. And I did teach the system how to make seeds before the thing started. Is that working? We got a seed. The transfer node is yet to pull out said seed. I don't know. I feel like it should, but I'm not too sure if we can. I'm fairly certain. Can we pull out of those? I don't know. Let me grab a stick and let me try doing something like that. I would have thought the fact that we can pull into, or pull into it, the fact that we can put stuff into it, I would have assumed we could pull out of it. Let me try the other side here. If I was to put a transfer node down there, would that work? Oh, please tell me this is going to work. It looks like it's not going to work. Really? Okay, so a little while later, and I have actually figured this out. It does work, thankfully. All you have to do is pull out of the bottom for whatever reason. But we now have a transfer node on the bottom. We've blocked off all connections with this one. I moved everything down by one. And now, if we hook this up like so, it should start to pull all of those seeds out and should start putting them where they need to go. So we don't want it to pull out cobblestone. Like I said, we might have to whitelist that if it's going to try pull cobblestone out once. Let's try this. If I take that out, is it going to keep going with cobble? It's not. I think it was only pulling cobblestone out when I didn't have anything up there. It seems to be smart enough to not pull out cobblestone, but it is working. We are getting seeds set up there, which is absolutely fantastic. What I will probably do, or what I'm definitely going to do now between episodes, is I'm going to go with, first of all, let me keep a few of those just in case we need some for other purposes. But what I'm going to do between episodes, guys, is I'm going to go ahead and make the exact same setup over here using potatoes for this one. I'll also probably try to go ahead and make the faster versions of these so we can get even more seeds and make this thing go even faster. We may also go ahead and throw down some more world interaction upgrades into that guy down there now that we have so much lapis and so much iron, so that that thing can make cobblestone even faster, and we can just be producing a ton of seeds, making a bunch of plant oil, and I think it was like ethanol. I think it was for this one, or is this ethanol? I think this was ethanol, this is biodiesel, to make the biodiesel. But with that, guys, I'm going to end today's episode of Feed the Beast Horizons Daybreaker there. Thank you very so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to hit like, it really does help out a lot, and I will see you guys next time.